Hi, and welcome to Holsey Design. I'm Erica Holsey. I'm really excited about today's episode where we're going to be talking about creating our own color palettes. I know there are lots of sites out there that offer color palettes that shows you what colors go with what. But we're going to make our own, and the benefit of this is when you're ready to use it, you can set it to a group and go right to it versus having to comb through thousands of pages to find something that kind of fit what it is that you want to do. So we're going to do a tutorial today on how to make color palettes, how to find those special, unique, just enough colors for your design. I know at times when I'm thinking of a certain project and I'm looking at it and I want it to have a certain color or a certain twist to it, then I have to go to a site and have to comb through their pages and find what I'm looking for to kind of give me that color mix. But when I have my own, I can group them and go straight to it. So it's pretty cool and it's pretty awesome, and you're going to see just how easy it is to make your own color palettes and then save them as groups. I also want to take a second to just thank everybody for your subscriptions and for your thumbs up and all your wonderful, beautiful comments. I really appreciate that. That really helps when you're starting out doing something. So continue to share these videos, and I hope that we can grow together and learn together. So enough of the talk, let's get started. To show you this, I'm going to pull up Illustrator. So we're using the program Illustrator, and the picture that you see on the screen is a picture of a flower that I took. So I wanted to use this because I felt like it was lots of color and it would show a different range of color. So we're going to start with first going over here and getting a box. We're going to take it and we're going to drop it down here. Okay, so now we have this box, there's nothing in it. You want to go over to the left hand side and grab this, which is the eyedropper tool. Okay, so you want to make sure you get that, and what we're going to do is we're going to sample something on the picture, and there's our color. So we're using this pink piece for our color. So I'm going to go over here and lock this layer down so it doesn't move the next time we want to sample something. Okay, so here it is, it gave us a color. So now I can click anywhere on this flower, and it's as long as there is a blue bounding box. You see the box, it's blue around here. As long as that there, it means that that particular box is activated. So no matter where we click in the image, it will then now drop that color in that box. Okay, super, super cool. I love color. I love this because it's going to give you lots and lots of different colors. So now we've used this sample dropper, we clicked on the image, we filled it. We're going to go over here to this box that says fill, and you're going to click on that box. And so it's already made a tiny colored fill swatch of the color that we just clicked on. So we can go over here to this drop down box, and we're going to go to new swatch. Now once you click on new swatch, it's going to bring up the code for this particular color. So if you are wanting to print something and you want to have this color, so if you're doing a design or you're doing a flower and it's going to go to print, you want to use the CMYK version of the color that you're creating. So here it gives you the code, and you can write it down, or later on in the video I'll show you how we're going to be able to find that later and store it. Okay, so here it is, CMYK. Just in case you decide, no, this is not for print, this is for internet only, we can drop down this box and it gives us several different options of ways to change the color. So if it's web only, then we can use the RGB, and there it gives us the color code for that as well. Now we want to pick whichever one we want, so we can go with the RGB. Let's just leave it because we're online, right? So we're going to go with RGB. Now this box is usually unclicked, and this is the box we want to click. This is add to library. So as you can see, it says create a new library. You have a drop down box, and you can create a new library or you can add to an existing library. So this one is not cooperating. Let's go to the CMYK color, add, create a new library. Hold on one second. Let's cancel it out. Go back here. New swatch, add to color library, then we can click OK. So over here it creates a library. It gives your color right here. And so it's going to create a new library, and you can turn this into a group. So if you want to make a group of colors, you're able to. So double click on it and it's going to bring up the box, and it has the RGB color we just created, the CMYK color, and a different color you can use if you want to, a different code you can use if you want to drop this color on a web page, or you want to give it to someone and they can put in this color code and it will give or yield the same color. All right, so let's go back and get some more sample colors, and we're going to make a library swatch. I have lots of library swatches. So this is my color swatches over here. As I collect things, I stick it over here. But we're going to be dropping all of these under the spring palette colors. So once we get our color, we're going to go back. We're going to go here. We're going to go new swatch. We're going to go over here, spring color palette, click OK, and then it's going to show up over here. All right, so let's get another box. Uh-oh. Straighten that back up. We're going to take this box, drop it down. We want to scoot it over, and it's going to come up the same color that we used before. Okay, so we're going to go back and get our eyedropper tool, and I usually try to do it so it's in a row of different colors. So we have this particular color. I want to go back over here to properties. I'm going to go again to fill, click on the swatch, back over to the three dots coming down in the box, to new swatch. Again, it's going to give me the code for each and every last one of them. I could change it if I want it again to whatever I want to use it for. And then with the add to library, I can add library. Now it's doing right. So there you have, you can pick a different library if you want it in a different place. So in this image, you see a lot of different colors. So if I was to choose to take want to make a color swatches of just different shades of pinks, I can then create just a palette with just different shades of pink and then label it. And as I collect things, I can drop it in different palettes. But since we started with spring palette, we're going to continue with that. So I'm just going to click OK. And again, it shows up over here. And I go up under my libraries, pull this down, and again, it'll show me the most recent color palette group that I've made. So you'll see it there on that side. All right, so let's go back over here. We're going to grab another color. And we want to see just how many colors we can get out of this one photo. And you'll be surprised. So this will kind of help minimize running around, checking 20 different pages to try to find different colors. And you'll be amazed how many colors you can get out of one particular image. So it's really pretty much repetition. So I want to click on that. I'll see my new swatch. Go to new swatch again. I can see my codes. So say I want to take this color and I want to drop it into Photoshop and add it to something else. I want to make sure that the color that I'm taking is a RGB color. And this is the code, and I can also add it over into Photoshop as well. But because Adobe is stepping up their game, now if you put something in Illustrator, it will automatically be in Photoshop as well. So this is just a good tool just in case you thought you saved the color and you want to be able to go and find it. You can have the code here, or you can write it down and have it and transport it over there. So let's see what other color we can grab out of here. And so I know that some of the websites we look on, they have the code written in the swatch, in the little swatches that we're making, right? So this is a lighter color of that, but it's really close. So let's see if we can find something else. That's a good one. Okay. Now say you want to post this. Say you're super duper proud of yourself and you come up and you found these awesome colors and now you want to post them to show somebody else. So now you could take the number here, our RGB number, you can write it down, 206 88 100, and we can come over here. We're going to go ahead on and click OK and add it to our spring color palette, and we could take our type tool, type it in this box, We want to go back to properties and make sure it's small enough to fit in the box. Not too small that we can't see it. Put it here. And then we can then write R and put the 206. G and put the 88. And B and put the 100. So say you want to save this particular image and you want other people to see the color that you created, you can now put it on the swatch. I would probably change the color, make it white, and then make it a little bigger so people can see it. I'm exaggerating the size, but you use whatever you think would be potent. Okay, so then you can take it there, and guess what? Now you can post it on your Instagram or your other pages, the RGB color, and people can then use your color palettes. And you can create your page, drop it on your blog, super duper easy. We're going to try a couple darker colors. So here we go. Another text box here. We're going to get our dropper tool and let's do some greens. So that's a darker green. I'm going to just not make this difficult and just kind of drag it over. And remember I told you, as long as the box is blue, it's active. So we're going to go and we're going to get a different color green. We're going to change that. We're going to click here, get our eyedropper tool, make this a different color green, maybe a little darker shade. Awesome. And then we're going to get one more color of green. Let's go in the back, see if we can find something fairly bright. There we go. So now we've extracted, and as you can see, that is just a few places that we clicked to get some colors. And so the steps are pretty repetitious. So if you don't have anything to do, and some days what I do is a day of color, like if I have a project in mind and I want to be able to use certain colors for it, I will thumb through some of my photos and find one that I like, that I feel like would be a good mix. And by collecting the colors out of the picture, you're also collecting colors that will work well together. So that is another plus. And then you kind of get a sense of what colors work well together without needing an outside opinion on what it is that flows together. Now, as you can see, going through the steps becomes super duper easy because I don't have to do what I did for the first one. I just go here, click on my drop down box, new swatch, and because I've been using this particular library, I don't have to keep clicking it and looking for it. I can change the color to RGB if I so choose, or I can leave it as CMYK and then save it to my color palette. And then we got the last one. All right. And then we are going to, because it's already in blue as we talked about before, hit the color swatch, drop down, new color swatch. Our color is already there, our code, and then we want to hit OK. So now we have all this completed. We might want to make this just a tad bit bigger, not too big. Scoot it over. We want to make sure we kind of fill in the page. I think the first one is kind of huge, and that's why we're getting a little extra at the edge. So we're just gonna kind of scale it in a little bit. All right, so now that we have these colors, you now have your own personal color swatch, which is super awesome. So you could take that and you can make it a group. Now you can come over here and you can see the code that you've saved them all in CMYK. If before you saved them in RGB, it would make a copy of it and save it over here and let you know which colors are which. And then you can go and label it or name it whatever you want it to be over here. You can export it, you can import it into a library, you can invite people to see it, or you can change the name of it or create a new library. And just like that, you have your own color palettes. And that is a burst of color that you created from photos you took, from inspiration that you found all around you. This is a good example of why it is so vital as designers, as artists, as people who just love to have color, to get out and go places and do things and take pictures of everything. Camera phones, iPhones, Androids, it all makes all of us amateur photographers. So you can take a picture with your phone, send it to yourself, airdrop it to your computer, and bam, you have a color swatch. Okay, everyone, you see how super simple and easy that was? You too can be a color guru. You can see what colors go together, what mix well together, and create your own swatches so you don't have to comb through other people's pages. Now, like I said in previous videos before, totally do that, because you won't always find the color that you want in your things. But get out there, because the world is full of color and you can make your own swatches. And I showed you how you can set it up and post yours and share with other people. Not only your work as in photos and things you've done, but colors that you yourself have created. Man, this has been so awesome, and I'm so excited to have brought you this tutorial on making your own color palettes. Don't forget to subscribe down there and hit that thumbs up, and you can see some of my work on Etsy, which should be right here. You'll be able to see it, and also follow us on Instagram, which is also right here, and you should be able to see that as well. And don't forget us on Facebook, and that should be right here. And also try and look at some of my pens on Pinterest, and that should be right here. I am so grateful to have you guys join me today, and I look forward to our next time where we get to learn together. And as I'm learning and bringing stuff to you, I hope that you will leave me some feedback and say, hey, Erica, you should try this, so I can learn from you as well. Remember, you are beautiful, you are unique, and you are your own special design. Until next time, I will see you then.